So you fancy a CBR600? Well, if you fancy a brand new CBR600, you'll have to spend over £6,000, certainly if you want the sport version, which is very, very nice in its nice red and black colour scheme. But you haven't got £6,500. I know you haven't got that much, so we'll look for something a little bit cheaper. But you still want a CBR600. Well, don't worry, it's not a problem because they've been around for donkey's years. In fact, they've been around since 86, 87. And this one here, look at this. Looks a bit dated now, doesn't it? But this is a deregistered 1987 CBR600 F8, the very, very first one. And there's still quite a few of these kicking about. One like this, in fact, this particular one, is up for sale at £1,999, so £2,000. You might think £2,000's a lot of money for a deregistered bike. It's not exactly cheap, but there is one advantage with buying something that old, because it's very nearly now 15 years old, this. And when a bike becomes 15 years old, it becomes eligible for classic insurance. So this is probably more expensive now than it was when it was a couple of years ago, if you kind of see what I mean. But it does look a bit dated now. It's a bit sort of old-fashioned, the old jelly mould type thing we used to call these, didn't we? And it doesn't look particularly attractive, so perhaps you want to spend a little bit more money. Well, let's do that, because there's loads to choose from with CBR600s. Come on, I'll show you some more. Well, here are a couple more, looking a bit smarter now, I think, if you ask me. A bit more racy, a bit more stylish, a bit more like your modern sports bike, really. These are two CBR600s. These are both FV models, just over 4 years old now, these, the pair of them. This one here is actually an imported version. This is a European import. But interestingly, they're both the same price, the import and the UK. They're both up at 3,999, so 4,000 quid. This UK bike's only done 18,000 miles, so it's not been anywhere at all, really. The import's actually done 43,000 kilometres, which I think is about 25,000 miles-ish, if my maths are correct. But it's no good me standing here telling you all about CBR600s. The best thing to do, you know, if you want to know about any bike, is go to a biker meeting place, find the people who are actually riding them and own them, and ask them what they think.
CBR600 Honda, absolute superb all-round tool. If you want to go to and from work on it, it'll do so with great pleasure and ease. And if you want to go out on it a weekend and thrash it, it'll go around the bends as much as you want to take it around the bends. The brakes are fabulous, and if you want to make it look good, you can do plenty with them as well.
Back in '93 at the FN, lovely bike, beautiful handling, keep up with most bikes of today if you knew how to ride it, braking, fantastic. Yes, I'd have another one tomorrow.
CBR600 92 FN was my first bike. I had it specially brought into the country for me from Fastline at Preston. It was a very good bike, first one. £3,000 it cost me, so it was to a budget. Really comfortable, two up as well, good on fuel, it's very cheap to insure. I only had it for 12 months, but it made me buy another one.
Yeah, improvements could be made. Could do with a fuel gauge. No storage space. What bit there is, you have to have tools to take it apart. A long gap between fifth and sixth when you're changing gear. Other than that,
one of the two things that I don't like about it, but there's not much to choose from. I think one of the main things is I like it to turn in a bit quicker into corners. Maybe if I stuck a 16-inch front wheel on it, maybe if they possibly drop the forks then yokes a few miller. Maybe, I don't know though.
The golden rule when you're buying any bike second-hand is talk to the people who ride them, the people who own them and the people who live with them, because they'll tell you more than anybody else ever could.